OSPtv, we are back. Episode 14. Congratulations, OG. We haven't been kicked off YouTube yet.
Hey, that's a win in itself.
Yeah, well, good job. Wonderful. Representing the co-chair, our co-host, the one, the only, the OG Woods. Welcome back.
Thank you, sir. Good to see you.
It's been a while since we've done one of these.
Time flies.
Special guest, the phenom, the legend, the one, the only. He has made history in mixed martial arts. He's made history in boxing. The guy continues to reinvent himself, re-evolve himself, and stay relevant in every facet of the sport and in all of combat sports. Over and above that, we're going to talk about the next legacy that's coming up, the second generation. But the one, the only, the phenom, Vitor Belfort. Champ, welcome to OSPtv. Thank you so much for joining us.
It's a pleasure. It's a joy to be here with you guys. I'm looking forward to explore what you guys want to touch. So I like the introduction, and I become an expert in reinventing yourself. And I discovered that that's about life, as we go on through their days. I think we're on a season right now where people get stuck into trying to fit into what is the trending. So I'm very against the trending because I'm trying to look where God wants me to go. Whatever God wants me to go, that's where I want to be.
Well, listen, man, we're jumping right into this thing. Let's take the gloves right off and jump right into this. Vitor, I've had the pleasure of knowing you now, being around your beautiful family. There's one thing that stands out. You're a man of faith. You're a man of God. You're not driven by money. You're not driven by materialistic things. You're driven by your faith, and everything that happens to you is an act of God. Am I accurate in saying that?
It's perfect. This in life, we have a way of living. So the way of living for me, it's like you have to be active in what you believe. So what you believe dictate your actions, and your actions dictate who you are. I believe in preparation. The more you prepare, the more chance you have for victory. You understand that I have one thing in my life. Either I win or I learn. I don't let lose becomes I make lose become my lesson. So they ask me, what's your record? I said, I have this much victory and this much lessons. So that's how I roll.
And speaking of wins and lessons, being a big UFC MMA fan, kind of grew up watching you. I can't think of many fighters that have fought the list of champions that you have. I mean, it goes on and on. Anderson Silva, Rich Franklin, Michael Bisping, Randy Couture, John Jones, Chuck Liddell. I mean, that's only halfway down the list.
Wow.
Which one of those opponents, stands out to you? Who was the toughest person you ever faced?
Well, I always say the toughest opponent is always the next. But I mean, all those that I fought, they're all great champions. They're all great athletes. Some of them don't represent what I think an athlete should represent. I don't need to go into details, but I mean, a lot of them represent the sport. We fought. So one that stand out that I really enjoy and I really learned, one of the biggest lessons in my life was Randy Couture. Randy was one of the hardest, because the first fight that I fought Randy, I was very arrogant. I thought that I was unbeatable, and I grew up without understanding. I was very, very, very courageous, but in the sense, like when you have that kind of courage, you become arrogant and stupid. So I didn't train properly. I got a beating bad, and I learned the lessons. And eventually later we fought again. We become friends, and I learned a lesson.
Vitor, you were young when you started fighting, weren't you? I remember you were like 18, 19 when you won your first world title.
I was very immature because I was like a self-taught guy. But you got to understand, when you're young and with that time, the sport didn't even exist.
Right.
So I didn't have no one around me, and I think I had to go through that. So today I can be mature and be able to teach people. So now I think I have that lesson.
Sure.
To understand that everything will pass. So if everything will pass, is before it pass, how you treat these things, how you treat your gift, how you treat your momentum. So I think a lot of them I waste, and I had to learn how to do it again.
Yep.
And here I am again with 45 years old and still rocking.
Yeah, not only rocking, man, you are in phenomenal shape. I couldn't keep up with him. Listen, I'm pretty vain. I'm pretty full of myself. But you're a beast.
So I got something for you. I unfortunately just came off the scale here at lunch. And,
you're in his weight class now.
It normally never goes well, but I'm finding as I get older, I can't get away with what I used to. We're going into the holidays, so it's only probably going to get worse. So what's the trick? Because you are shredded. What's the trick?
So the trick is this. I'm doing right now as I'm speaking to you. I'm going to my 4th day of fasting. So I'm planning to fast for 10 days, and hopefully, so I'm taking one day at a time.
What kind of fasting, Vitor?
So no food, food at all.
No food at all?
Yeah.
Are you? But fluids you are drinking?
Water, yeah. No juice, just water.
Hang on. You're doing 4 days of just water?
Yeah. So and then I'm training at the same time. So today but I'm doing light training. So I'm doing like stretching, mobility, a lot of breath, a lot of praying, a lot of mindfulness, a lot of breathing. So I work with oxygen treatment. So I do every day. I have in my house. So it's altitude.
Hyperbaric stuff?
So no, it's an oxygen thing that you go like an altitude.
Oh, no kidding.
Like 25,000 feet.
Wow.
And then I switch a button and then comes full oxygen. So that's a new way. Like I'm treating myself as a new way of to rejuvenate your system. So like example, you can live without food, without water for a couple of days, but without oxygen, in 15 minutes without oxygen, your brain is dead. So I discovered that at my age, I'm learning new skills, how to not just be in shape, but to feel good. I always say it's how you feel. So sometimes people say, you have to do this much lifting, this much training. And as you know, I'm in a season of my life that the less is more.
Right.
So, but it's like I said, when you're facing holidays or any type of temptation, you gotta set a goal in your head, in your mind. You have to understand that I don't need to have a fight to do. I like to challenge myself.
That's the difference. He stays motivated. No, you stay motivated. Even Vitor, sorry to cut you off, even before the big fight that you had, the breakthrough fight that you had, the comeback fight that you had, you were always training. Like that was always a regimen of your life. You're very consistent.
So that's the whole thing. I create a fitness system. So it's like a boutique fitness where half of the class happen in the bag, half the class is on the floor. So all my regimen of training, the way I do fitness, the way I do weights. So all the elements that I use in myself, I share with people. But I share in a way that we have, like, most of them women, they lose up to 50 to 60 pounds. We have people, they lost 80 pounds. Wow. But like I said, I always said, it's not the biggest guys. I don't want to be like the elephant. I want to be like the lion, full of muscle and no fat.
Yeah.
So the idea for me and being healthy and being fitness for me is like, it's first I have to feel good. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people today, they see fitness as a if I get that, I'm happy. So I don't see it. And that's it. I'm learning, constantly learning. Like I said, I'm learning how to use these oxygens to enhance in my life. I'm learning how to do, I work out my feet sometimes for 1 hour and a half, just my feet. So I do a bunch of stuff that normal people don't even know that they exist, this type of things. Yeah. But I mean, it's everything starts is like how you approach something.
Well, you're a pioneer, Vitor, in so many things. Before we get into the fun stuff and even the preparation of your fight that was supposed to happen with Oscar De La Hoya and ended up switching a couple of opponents, and then last minute they brought in Evander Holyfield. Before I go into that, if you don't mind me getting personal here with you, there's a backstory to Vitor Belfort that a lot of people don't know. There's a lot of personal pain that you went through, your family went through. Would you mind talking about that?
No, not at all. Actually, today I have me and my wife, we opened a non-profit organization called Together for Them. It's feeding the hungry and finding the missing. So the idea of today, the biggest factor that Facebook and and many other platforms are not helping us to fight against human trafficking. And human trafficking is huge, it's big. You always have to relate to someone that they went through that. And today the numbers skyrocketing in America. America is the number one place for human trafficking, sex trafficking. So every hour, 150 people get missing. And 50%.
Hang on, what's that number? 150 people an hour go missing?
Go missing. And for this number, 50% and most of the kids going to sex trafficking. So it's huge. It's one of the hugest trafficking because when you use cocaine, you cannot reuse it. When you use the dope or whatever, you cannot reuse it. Human trafficking, you have a 12-year-old kid that been selling at least 25 times a day.
Oh my God.
So just thinking about 12-year-old daughter, I have daughter of that age. They've been serving 25 people, and these people, they are normal people. A lot of these guys are lawyers, politicians, athletes.
Come on,
you name it. Yeah, you name it.
I don't know much about the whole, that whole scene. So how does it relate to you personally?
So in 2 weeks before my fight with Randy Couture, my title fight, my sister got missing, and on the same place, my sister got missing. Every day, 10 people get missing, 10 kids. So it's like it's insane. The numbers are just piling to just on that area. Only on that area she got missing.
And Vitor, how old was she when she went missing?
She was 25, 20.
So she wasn't young. Yeah, she wasn't a baby.
No. So it's unfortunate. It's a disease today, and like I said, we have to protect our children from all these people. They are literally are monsters, And I mean, one of the things that I'm fighting for, and even me and my wife, we're fighting for, people to understand that thing with the bathroom, sharing the bathroom with a girl cannot share that because these pedophiles are gonna love this law if they pass. So, so we have to protect her.
So she went missing in her 20s. Vitor, did you ever find her?
Nope.
She's still missing until today.
It's awful.
Still missing to today.
Unbelievable.
So we've been helping. My mom now, she's the we call the mom of all the missing people. She opened police station for missing people in Brazil. She's helping so much of this family. So she works 24/7 to protect the rightness of this. Unfortunately, a lot of these people that get missing, they don't have idea, and some of them, the parents are involved. So we have to protect. So it's a lot of things going around this. So like I said, it's a huge market we call the black market that's being active in Facebook, black, they call the black internet, whatever it is. So we have to shut down. And I'm in favor to use technology to fight against these people. And unfortunately, a lot of this Facebook and now even Mark Zuckerberg is being accused of supporting this, not be able to stop. So they're trying to go after. Yeah, it's a big thing. As you see why Facebook is being, has to respond a lot of things. One of them because of that. It's a lot of people, a lot of things bad happen into this.
Yeah. What a history.
They've been selling kids over and over and over in Facebook. So sad.
Mm-hmm. Well, that gives us a pretty good background from a personal perspective of some pain and things that you have to that you went through, and then of course your spiritual background and the makeup of who you are. So, believe it or not, that was all an introduction to Vitor Belfort. Let's dive into the fight stuff. Vitor Belfort, the Beast, what everybody's known for. By the way, when you show up to your son David, who by the way is one of the top prospects, quarterback prospects, collegiate or high school rather. Is he in college yet, or is he still shopping colleges?
No, he's on his first year of high school, so he has.
Wait, he's a freshman?
Yes,
freshman. Yep.
I thought he was getting ready to go to college next year.
He doesn't play like a freshman.
No.
Wow.
He's on the college level right now. But this kid it's amazing.
He's a beast.
So Vitor.
But I have two daughters that are phenomenal. One is the
volleyball,
one
right?
of the best. Yeah, one is a volleyball and one is a gymnast. So it's like you breathe. You come into my house, it's like you breathe workout, you breathe food. We have all like everyone is on meal plan. So you open the fridge, there is no food, it's all meal plan, like stacked.
Hey, Vitor.
That's like your house, Dustin.
Vitor, yeah, right. You got a big time college football, Ohio State, Alabama fan here. So what are the odds we can get David to Columbus or Tuscaloosa?
Hang on. Vitor, I'm going to represent David. I'm David's agent. I'll handle David's negotiations moving forward.
Just for you to know, Alabama already offered it.
I know.
And so I want to put some fresh thing for you guys. So yesterday, I was speaking to Mario, the head coach of Oregon State. So they are going on the phone, and in 2 hours from now, they're going to offer the V. So, and
how are they hiring a freshman?
They're recruiting him, offering him scholarships.
At freshman?
Yeah, you can offer him in 8th grade.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So,
he's special.
I spoke to Mario yesterday. Coach Mario, you don't understand. He's like his mindset and even his program. Today, they are the 3rd best.
We don't got to talk about that, Vitor. I'm an Ohio State fan.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, like I said, it's just good to see. I admire the mentality of the coach, the head coach. And I hope one day I can meet the Ohio head coach. But I mean, talking to him yesterday, and he has a background in fighting, and he loves boxing and jiu-jitsu. So it's just the mentality and to see how they approach competition. I love to understand how preparation. I love to meet greatness. And when you have the time to meet greatness and to see greatness in others, and he said, man, your son is special. I want to offer him myself with my team. So tonight's going to go down. So one more offer for my son. I'm very pumped.
That's great. Good for you.
Speaking of greatness, have you talked to Nick Saban?
No, I never had a chance to talk to him. But my son spent like a good hour on his office talking to him, and he loves the Alabama program. I'm very good friends of Bryce Young and his father. Amazing. Now you're talking my language. Is amazing.
Yeah.
For me, he's the best. If you're not the best, one of the best quarterbacks in high school so far. He sees the field. He understands. He has big wiggles, big cojones, and he can play. He can make reads, post-snap, pre-snap. And like I said, I think we're changing this thing that, you have to be tall. You have to be 6'4", 6'5". Kyle Murray is just 5'8", 5'9". But
Drew Brees.
Drew Brees. You have Russell Wilson. So to become great, to have greatness in you first, you have to have in your heart. Doesn't matter your size. Remember, the king of the jungle is the lion because he's the most courageous. So you have to have courage to understand, to fight the odds. So I love to see that this is a statement that anyone can do it. You just have to put the hard work.
That's your pedigree, though, Vitor. Like and if we could talk, without disclosing too much information, when we're picking and choosing opponents for you, it's here's this guy. You'll say yes, I'm going to fight him, and I said nah, Vitor, no. And then next guy, I want to fight him. No, we're not going to fight him. Next guy, I'll fight him. No, and it's not that you can't beat him. It's that it's not the right fight. But a fighter like you needs to have the people around him to make sure that he's going in the direction, because you'll fight everybody, anybody, any day, any time. And when you have a dog like that, or as you say, a lion like that, it becomes dangerous. It becomes dangerous for the fighter himself, because he doesn't know when to stop himself. I mean, I don't know how many people will go on a 4-day fasting binge, and I know it's very spiritual for you, but that's a lot of physical.
I'm going to do 10.
You're going to go all 10.
I can't go 10 minutes without.
Wow.
But remember, it's the best way to prepare your spirit and your body. So for me, fasting is like, it's a mind and body and soul and spirit, thing. So today I spend the whole day, a lot of holistic things, praying, laying down on the floor, putting my worship song, just praying over people, over the nation, just to do these things and be able to touch. You'll be able to touch a place where, and I'm here, I'm rolling. My kids today, they wake up. I wake up early. They say, "Dad, what are you doing? I want to be like you. You have so much energy." I said, "Listen, man, it's all in your mind."
Sure is.
And it's you. It's like, you got to understand that when you do that, you prove to yourself that God exists.
Sure.
God lives through you, in you. So you just gotta put that work and have that mindset.
And this is one of the things that I had touched on in the beginning, is everything that you do is really driven by your faith, and that's phenomenal. So let's go back to the boxing, because that's more exciting than MMA, and it's more exciting than football. It just is. Boxing.
Debatable.
You're now into boxing. There was a great fight lined up with you at Oscar De La Hoya. That didn't happen. What happened, Vitor?
He was checking out, man. Oscar,
Are you sure he just wasn't hungover? Did he chicken out, or was he hungover?
Yeah, I think when you hang over and you know you have to fight, that means you're chicken out.
So the Oscar De La Hoya fight didn't happen.
It didn't happen. It would not happen. The guy is too scared.
Oh, you don't think it will happen?
Never.
Wow.
He don't want that smoke.
He's not a Mexican fighter.
He saw what happened to Evander. He don't want that smoke.
Yeah, and then I know that there were some other young lions that they were trying to offer them fights to fight you, and nobody would fight you. And then finally, Evander Holyfield last minute stepped up, and he took the fight. And look, regardless of what it is, I mean, your job is to go in there and execute, go in there and win. And
before, everyone was doubting me.
Of
even
course,
Evander, he said everybody thought I was going to lose, and then when you win, it's like I said, always people gonna.
100%.
Success is always going to make someone write you off.
100%.
It doesn't matter, what you do in life. Success is something that, has created a lot of envy, jealousy. People have to have something to talk, unfortunately, it's part of the human race.
They don't recognize you when you're on the bottom. They ignore you when you're in the middle, and they hate you when you're on top. It's just the way that it is. It's just the way that it is. But listen, I thought, for that fight, it didn't matter who was in there with you that night. Let me tell you my favorite part of your fight with Evander Holyfield. It was after the fight, and your whole family was in the ring. Your whole family came in what nobody really knows, or maybe just the close people around you, is when one of your family members walks into your house, the whole family greets them. They hug them, they kiss, everybody in that family is one unit. There is no disenfranchising of the family. And after the fight, you guys were all huddled up in that corner, praying together, celebrating together. The look on everybody's faces, and I'm not sure if it was, aware. There's that awareness for everybody else. I saw it, and I sensed what was going on in that circle. Can you touch on that a little bit?
Yeah, everything we do in the house, we do it together. So when family is something that is being scattered, and we live in a very fatherless generation. And the father of the house is the head, but the woman is the neck, is the column. So without that, it's hard to build up a family. It's hard to understand that. So I know it's a new world, people creating new things, but nothing can be more cherishing than that.
100%.
So we cherish this moment, and everywhere. It doesn't matter if it's in the ring or if it's in a football court or volleyball court and the gymnast or in the private room in the house. So you should see how we kiss and hugs in the house. It's like every morning we wake up before that we go to school. It's like at least 10, 15 kisses, hugs. And I mean, and this is something that it's this is just who we are. Like I said, we are the same persons in the house and outside of the house.
100%.
So, and I don't apologize for that. That's who we are. And I mean,
good for you.
Like it or not, we believe that we and that's one of the banners that I try to encourage people. Go ahead. Don't choose a girlfriend, choose a wife. Don't choose don't choose a boyfriend, choose a husband. So I pray for my kids' husbands, my daughters. I pray for David's wife. So me and Joanna, we always praying because I know he's there somewhere. Yeah. The husbands of my daughters. I know the wife of my son is there somewhere. So we are bringing to reality before it happened. That's what I did with my career.
Yeah.
I knew that I was going to be world champion when I was 13. So it just matter when and how.
All right. Next fight up. OG, who do you want to see Vitor fight?
Well, that was going to be my question. Speaking of boxing, if there was one UFC fighter you would love to get in the boxing ring with you, either past or present, who would that be?
UFC, past or present. I would like to box. Oh man, so many guys that would be fun.
Yeah, that's the
box.
problem is you can't zone in on one because you want to box them all.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to think. But I mean,
I remember going through the list of guys.
I like to box. I would like to box Conor McGregor.
There we go.
That would be a good boxing fight.
So yeah. Conor can get up to 180, can he? 175?
He's fought at 170, I want to say.
So you can catch it. Vitor, you can make 180, 185.
180 and 185, I would do it with him. So one thing that is good now, we are even the ground. As you know, Triller is doing the ring that is a triangle called Triad Combat. That's what's going to be good. So I will be able to box a boxer and even the ground. And it's a creation of a new sport. So that's what's cool because MMA was created 20, 25 years ago. And now we're creating a new sport. We are even the ground and no kicking, no nothing. It's just boxing. But, it's in a new way of more entertaining and to see who has the best hands. Like I said, if you go to the restaurant, someone stick their hand in your butt, wife, you're not going to say, hey, how much you weigh? Hey, you're not going to ask this question.
I would love that comment.
So for me, fighting for me is like that. I have that kind of mentality.
Right.
If I'm out over here on the street, someone asks me, I don't care if you're 6'5" or 6'8", I'm gonna put you down. If you touch my wife, you're gonna be out. So why not creating entertaining fights that the fans will love it? So I'm all for it. And I mean, now it's coming a reality. So
well, I didn't know. I didn't know how much you wanted to talk about that, but since you opened up that can, let's do it. When you had told me about this idea that you had manifested about a new sport, you had shown me these prototype gloves that you actually designed that were, a little bit different. So it's a boxing glove, but it's an open hand boxing glove, open palm, where you can grab also. So it's boxing, but with the grabbing. But there's no kicking, no punching, no kicking, no kneeing, nothing on the ground. It's still a stand-up boxing fight, but you can grab them.
Yep.
And now you've actually willed this thing into existence, and Triller is going to be launching the first fight of this kind. With this idea.
7 rounds, 2-minute rounds. And my suggestion is to be 90-second rest because we want the fight to be action. I hate when the fight is not action. What makes a fight, what makes the fans thrill with football? Imagine if you just run the ball. That would be suck, but you like when it's driven, like people throwing, when people attacking people. So what's make the fighting the best? The best of a combat sport is boxing and MMA. But a boxer would never do MMA, and we MMA we're doing boxing. But I'm telling you, it's so hard to beat a boxer in their own sport. It's just take once in a lifetime. But when you mix the ground and now you make entertaining, you even the ground, so the bettings go higher. So now we're talking about driven money investment, and people buying. It's a new sport, and this has become an Olympic sport. We have everything for we become an Olympic sport. So
what's the sport called? I believe.
So they call Triad Combat. In my mind is boxing martial arts, but I mean it's the Triad Combat. That's the name, and I believe this sport will be able to be an Olympic very soon.
Hey, I'm not going to doubt you.
Vitor, do you still watch UFC the same way that you did when you were competing?
Not right now. I see when it's more. I don't buy pay-per-view as much unless it's someone that really attract me.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I watch a lot of the fights in the ESPN,
Sure.
and I think they're doing a phenomenal job. You know, Dana White, he literally is like he changed the way promoters are promoted, because people don't realize that Dana White is not just a promoter, but also he owns the sport.
Right.
So it's almost like a boxing become a promoter and he owns the sport.
No, you're right.
I have a lot of respect for Dana, what he's been doing, and on one side, and the other side is hard because it's like they have full control of the situation. But I mean, he works for UFC, you know, so he's doing a great job as a CEO. So, and if it wasn't for him, the sport would not be there. So I'm literally recognize that if it wasn't for him a couple years ago, him and Lorenzo and Frank Fertitta, what they did, you know, they literally step up when everyone doubted. And like I said, I was one of the guys that they always believe, and I work hard with them, and here we are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, did you happen to watch UFC 268?
No, I didn't see it, but they say it was a lot of good fights.
The Justin Gaethje Michael Chandler fight seems like that's what you want your fight league or new sport to be like.
Yeah.
It was 15 minutes of brawn.
Yeah. But it's hard to have that kind of fight in MMA. And I mean,
right.
And also it's not healthy for them. You got to understand that. You know, I know the fans love it, but it's very unhealthy for the fighter. Versus what we're going to be doing is very healthy for the fighter. So it's going to be action, but I mean, it's going to be 2 minutes of pure action. You have a 90-second rest, and then you go back again, and you do this for 7 rounds. So you'll be able to do it. In I was looking for safety number one, and that's what everybody, you know, should be looking for when you're building a sport or you're doing something. Safety number one, and I think MMA is very violent in the body today.
Hey, I hear Kamaru Usman, word on the street is he's looking for a fight outside of the UFC. How about you and him in your new sport?
That would never happen. So that would be cool, but I mean, that would never happen. I would love to do that, but I mean, this is
he's in your old weight 100%. Class, isn't he?
No, but I mean, Dana would never let this happen. Never.
Yeah, he shot down the Canelo.
But I mean, that would be a good fight. I would love to do that fight.
Vitor, I mean, of course you would like to do that fight. You'd like to fight everybody. But your mentality is one thing that really separates you and that attracted me to how you approach the sport. You going into a fight, and you've been on these huge stages fighting, you know, these, these legends in the sport. What's your mindset and what's your mentality in the locker room? Actually, let's start in the training camp, and then in the locker room, then as you're walking to the cage or the ring, and then when you step in.
It depends. Like, you have to face your own demons. You know, it's like you have to understand that we all deal with that. So one thing that I really do very good is, like, when you fight, when I fought not to lose, I had bad performance. When I fought to win, I had the best performance. So I think that the idea of that is to understand that that's my mentality.
Sure.
So today, my experience from all the fights that I had, if I can go back and do some of them, I would do it to win and not to lose. So, and I encourage people, whatever you do in your life, you always approach with the winning mentality. You know, like I said, I'm either going to win or you're going to learn. I'm never going to lose.
Famous words from the phenom, Vitor Belfort. Well, we're looking forward to you in your next fight. Is it going to be Jake Paul or what?
Jake Paul is too scared. Yeah. He'll never fight me.
He's not too scared. He's too smart.
Maybe his brother would have the courage to jump in, but I know I would love to put a beating on these boys. Why? Because they didn't have good behavior. You know, I think their parents never teach them, you know, like spin. So I'll be able to do that with them. You know? They're gonna call me Big Daddy.
There we go.
There it is, Big Daddy Belfort. That's it. We changed his name halfway through at the end of his career. We'll change it.
Forget the Phenom, Big Daddy Belfort.
I like it.
Yeah, Big Daddy Belfort. I like that.
Yeah, I like it too. There it is on OSPtv. We just changed his name.
So Big Daddy Belfort versus the Paul sisters.
I love it.
You guys are awful. Vitor, thank you for taking the time out of your day.
Hey guys, it was one of my favorite interviews. I can't wait to be there and present with you guys.
Cool. Thank you.
And we're gonna be training for this fight. So get ready, get your hands ready.
I'm ready when
you are. We're gonna have some fun, man. And I appreciate all the love. And let's all fight for one thing. We need to protect the values of the family. We need to protect the values of our kids, because right now, if we don't do it, I'm telling you, we have a new wave going down, because all these demonic Satan people system are trying to destroy the value of what makes who we are. And we have to protect ourselves, love ourselves, respect ourselves. Doesn't matter the gender, the color, the race. We have to respect. And respect start with respecting their choice, respecting but you never violate the rules of we living in today. So we need to protect these values, and that's what I encourage people to do, and to love each one of them. Doesn't matter race, color, gender, and that's what we need. We need to be together, and no more fighting.
Powerful.
Only on the ring. Only on the ring.
Keep the fighting in the ring.
Yes.
Powerful. Vitor, thank you so much for joining us. OG,
Pleasure.
Any parting thoughts?
No, thank you so much for coming on, and we'll be looking out to see who the next victim's going to be in the ring.
Come on, somebody. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Vitor Big Daddy Belfort is ready for you.
Yeah.
Signing off on episode 14. Guys. Thank you, champ. My team, my family, my OSP, we're signing off.
My love to you and the family. Bye-bye.
Thank you, brother. Vitor, thank you.